Previously on episode 1.
No, we just had the wrong wires connected.
I figured out what
Can't see the box. Say hi. Cabinet 1 is out.
Welcome back to the Ambivan Project, our journey of converting a 30-year-old ambulance into an off-grid camper van to travel across North America. As we closed out 2023, Ryan and I took a week off work to tackle some major challenges on this renovation. First up, we needed to remove all the exteriors. This includes the doors, lights, metal plates, and anything else that can be easily taken off the vehicle. As our plan is to rebuild the box of the ambulance, our goal is to give ourselves as blank of a canvas as possible to work with, and also take inventory of the pieces of the ambulance that we might want to recycle and those that we might want to reuse. So with me manning the drill and Ryan manning the angle grinder, we began the tedious effort of undoing every single screw on all 5 doors, 6 lights, and 1 metal panel. It took us quite some time and it was rather difficult in certain places. You'd imagine an ambulance that's been decommissioned for several years might have some loose screws here and there, but the exact opposite was true. I could get about 70 to 85% of the way through, then Ryan would have to use the angle grinder to get us the final few percent to removing the door. Naturally, all the drill batteries died halfway through, so we had to remove the rear lights by hand. We passed the time singing along to throwbacks from the 2010s. And don't worry, we won't abuse your ears with our singing, though you will have to bear through the occasional bad dance move. When I first explored the idea of purchasing a camper van, I thought I would go the typical route of renovating a Sprinter or a Ram ProMaster. When I realized that would be too far out of my price range, I moved on to researching small RVs that I could potentially update to suit my needs. Nothing was quite right, so I then moved on to exploring what other kinds of vehicles people renovate into campers. Box, trucks, and ambulances seemed the most popular options. After a few months on Facebook Marketplace and a couple of no-goes, we stumbled across our ambulance, which won't look much like an ambulance soon enough.
That was stupid. You don't hold the door.
Now that challenge number 1 is complete, we'll cross that off and move to our next hurdle, cutting off the siding. This proved to be a real doozy.
one or two off, but until then, it's not gonna happen, is it?
Ryan tried using the angle grinder to no avail. The reciprocating saw was even less effective. Brute force simply not an option. After much head scratching, we struck upon a solution. Luckily for us, Ryan's dad had access to a plasma cutter, which would hopefully go through the 1/8 inch thick aluminum sheeting like butter, or cheese, or maybe like a potato.
I think it's off.
That well just...
You okay?
Yep.
Just set it down, you're good.
You did great.
You did perfect.
Where's my jacket?
Yeah, I told you that, like, your jacket probably helps.
But if you take this and drive it in there, you'll create enough of a that it'll pop away.
Yeah, that one popped.
So but that's what I'm saying. If you do that on one that you're doing,
And you're not sure,
and you're not sure, you should be able. Like this one, I don't think it's away.
It took some finagling to cut through the first side, but between the plasma cutter, sawzall, and a few extra pairs of hands, we peeled away the aluminum sheet.
And well,
Dun dun dun. How heavy is it?
Pretty heavy.
I have to admit, I was a bit intimidated by the plasma cutter at first, but it was really quite fun to watch it work. Though we had to be careful of the small failures it would occasionally start. The next day was spent cutting off the remaining sides, and one warning for anyone out there planning to use a plasma cutter for the first time in the near future. Please wear clothes that you don't mind getting ruined. I still have plasma pieces in my pair of pants to this day. Challenge number 2 is finished. On to the most fun part of the project thus far, raising the roof. If you've ever had the pleasure of hoisting a heavy aluminum object over 10 feet into the air, and doing so in a relatively safe and secure manner, using accessible household tools, good for you. You're among the lucky few.
Hold it.
That is not straight, but okay.
it's not flush, but it's close enough.
It'll work. That'll do, donkey. The other side. Should have freaking screws in before it hits the ground.
Yeah, probably. Coming through? Not quite. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Turn on that screw. I think you want to be in.
Our first approach consisted of having Ryan's dad hold the roof and slowly jack it up, while Ryan and I constructed this makeshift frame of scrap lumber underneath. We would very carefully raise the roof an inch, grab another piece of wood, screw it to the bottom of the leg on one side, do the same to the leg on the other side, and repeat the whole process. Despite the questionable stability of our approach, we pressed forward. Then we moved the roof just high enough for this to happen. Yeah, that's not my camera that's crooked. Rather, because of the angle, as soon as the roof cleared the corners of the original frame, it pitched forward and slightly to the right. We inevitably had to acknowledge our defeat, as our wooden structure would just never have been strong enough to safely let go of the roof. Poor Ryan and his dad spent far too many minutes standing in the ambulance holding the roof so it wouldn't cause any more damage. On to plan B, or it might have been C at this point.
Yep. There you go. Now, just lean it. There you go. Now I'm gonna lean over, and you're gonna lean up. Now,
Ryan's parents have scaffolding from their own house project, which inspired our new plan of attack. We put together 2 platforms, one on each side of the ambulance, then used a couple sleds and sawhorses to support 2 2x10s that we slid under the roof to hold its weight. While a significantly better approach, we couldn't quite achieve the necessary height, so we added another level of scaffolding and reinforced the 2x10s to help carry the weight of the roof.
Shaky, shakies. That's good enough.
On the deed.
Think all that good enough for government work.
Yeah.
By that, we just mean good enough for Grandpa. I don't know if Grandpa would or wouldn't approve of this, to be honest.
Oh, we'd love it. Where's your phone?
Oh shit! I didn't know there was a giant sticker on the roof.
There's a sticker?
Yeah. The original ambulance sticker is still on the roof.
For real?
For real.
What's that? No, I didn't.
Where's my support? My support briefs. There's the roof. They left the original ambulance sign on it, just for us. More. Good. Back.
I'm flying. All right, now push it towards the front, towards this bar.
There.
Yeah,
You're right over it.
I think. Up. My way. Ready?
Nope. Up. Oh, a little bit more. Back.
Towards the end. Should be more your way a little bit. There, right about there. Yeah, I'm right there. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. There you go. I want to stay at least a little bit on the outside edges.
With some sketchy maneuvering, we managed to get everything together and use some ratchet straps to hoist the roof up to the appropriate height.
I think that's plenty.
Wow. It finally happened. You're almost done cleaning up over there.
Very good. We're level. And totally suspended.
Go for it. I think the helicopter was the perfect timing.
Just freestanding there. It's perfect.
All in all, we felt pretty accomplished. Subscribe so you don't miss out on episode 3, where we start building out the frame. Thanks for watching.